All right, look like we're on. We're like we're good. Make sure audio's good, and we're gonna just get on with it.
Switch over to live. There we go. I mean, the
Yeah.
live comments.
Right, right. Yeah, sounds good on my end. Yep, sound like we're good. We're good.
Put on my good luck hand sanitizer.
Good luck hand sanitizer. That's what you
Uh-huh.
got. That's what you
Yeah,
got going
especially
on.
with what's been going on. You never know.
Man, the way things are nowadays, man, with the sickness and all this stuff going on, it's just ridiculously. It's just ridiculous to be honest with you.
I wonder if they're gonna lessen their orders of Chinese food.
Um,
I,
Probably so. I wouldn't be surprised. I really wouldn't be. I mean, my thing is, I'm not touching none of that shit. Like,
well, they said that it really, it's not even just like Chinese food, but like they see anybody coughing, you're gonna give everybody a second look, like, hey,
they're
hey,
snatching them up, huh?
hey, yeah.
I'm gonna
Uh,
put I'm gonna put this thing there from what was kind of like what we did from episode 53. I'm putting it in the DM, and I'm gonna show that as far as the fiscal year, the third fiscal quarter of EA.
mm-hmm.
So I got that there. So we're gonna talk about that as well. Um,
Oh, I see it.
yeah. So that's the numbers, and we're gonna talk about that shortly. Um, this is episode 115 of the First and Framerates podcast. Myself and DJ 81. Bills. I've spoken to Bills yesterday. Bills is going to focus on his music career, and he's actually taking a break from social media. So I guess that the podcast is a part of that break as well. So he told me that he's not going to be on the podcast for a while. He didn't give me a date when he's coming back. I don't know how many episodes he's
Yeah,
going to
it's to
miss.
be determined at this moment.
Yeah, so right now it's just going to be a two-man show. So it is what it is. Nevertheless, the show keeps going. See the guys in the chat. Thank you guys for coming through. Really, really appreciate it. Anybody else who comes through, you already know what it is. If you don't catch us live, catch us on Google Podcasts. You can catch us on iTunes, SoundCloud, all the other good stuff. Check out the Discord. Discord has actually had a little life this past day or so, so that's good. But the more people, the merrier, and the more people there, the more lively it gets. So
Mm-hmm.
all the links is down there in the description. Today we're going to talk about Super Bowl 54. Me and DJ is going to give our picks and the reason why we have those picks. We're going to talk about North Korea basketball. I found out some rules. I don't know if they're official or unofficial, but nevertheless, knowing them, they're probably true. And we're going to talk about those rules because I think you guys will enjoy that as well. But and also we're going to talk about Electronic Arts fiscal year, the profits that they made. So that's going to be that's going to be pretty interesting as well. So DJ, what have you been going? What have you been doing for the past few days?
Oh, excuse me. Little gas there. I've been just chilling, just keeping up on the news and hearing that Bradley Beal didn't make the All-Star team at all.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw you put in the DM. I saw it.
Yeah, DeMar DeRozan didn't make it either. So
Wow.
I don't know what's going on in the NBA. I know they have some last minute changes that don't make any sense. It makes sense. I understand the gesture, but doesn't make any sense.
Right. So I understand that. I'm trying to figure out why my son is screaming the way he is. I don't know what my wife is doing down there, and I don't know what he is doing.
Maybe she's looking at those North Korean basketball rules.
It could be. I don't know.
Little KB.
I don't know, but it's worrying me a little bit because I went down there earlier to check on him, and he was fine. He was just playing, but now he's like even worse. So
Probably knows this. You up here. He wants to be up here too.
it could be. But he knows the door's open. He know how to climb up the steps if you want to get up.
Yeah, he did it the last time. I remember.
Right. I mean, he's been doing it quite often too. So I'm kind of worried that like if he's too quiet, I have to come check the steps. So he's been good at doing that. Quayface, thank you for coming through. Ravens Nation, Spectacular Pool.
Yeah, what's up, everybody in the chat?
What do you want to start off with? It's totally up to you.
Let's get these North Korean basketball rules out the way because
All right. Let me pull
I
up
figure it's a matter of life and death. So
let me pull up the Discord because I know that's where I put them at, and I need to download that. I need to download that picture so I can put it up on the screen so everybody can see it.
Yeah, there's some. These are some interesting rules.
Let's see. Save image. Okay, there it is right there. I should have had this prepared. I'm sorry, everybody. I thought I was gonna pull it from my phone.
Shoot, I'm waiting for my desktop Discord app to pop up. There it is.
All right. Now where did it go? Did it download? Download it somewhere. Oh, I know what I do. It's simple. Let's see. Pull that up. There we go.
Yeah, and just to respond to Ravens Nation, because I know he said I thought about deleting my social media. It does nothing for humanity. Well, I disabled my Facebook account, and that's been a large part of most of my communications, especially sharing like when the podcast goes live and stuff like that. And to tell you the truth, just like I shared about what I went through on Sunday, it was kind of like a throwback to the 90s. Less noise, more peace.
Right.
So I understand.
Let's see. We'll set it up with that. That's cool. I don't want to see that. Let's bring this over. Yeah, I mean, my thing is, I still have my Facebook, but I really barely use it.
We know.
And
I remember trying to message you a couple times on there. It was like crickets.
Yeah, I don't even know if I even see it because I don't get no notifications or anything. All right, let's pull the screen up. Share the screen. This one. All right. Here are the North Korea basketball scoring rules. Let me see. I want to pull something else up here before I go. Oh, yeah, there we go. That's what I wanted to do. Great. All right. North Korea basketball rules are as follow. All slam dunks are worth 3 points.
I wonder how many dunks they're going to do they get off at normally.
I know,
if
right?
Any.
Probably because everybody, most Asian people are like fairly short. So that's probably why. Now, the second one is the one that got me. The second one says field goals in the final 3 minutes of a game are worth 8 points. Every field goal from the final 3 minutes is worth 8 points.
that also begs the question: how many points do they score per game? I figure they're trying to keep up with the NBA as far as if they want to do that.
I have a feeling that the scoring points I don't think is a problem. I just think that it's just chaos when the end of the game is about to start. When there's almost the end of the game is probably like ridiculous.
No, I'm gonna tell y'all what's gonna be chaos after we finish reading these rules off.
3-pointers are worth 4 if the ball doesn't touch the rim.
I think that's actually pretty damn good.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good idea.
If I were people in the NBA, I would look at that and be like, hey.
That's actually a pretty good idea. If you get an all net 4 points, that's not a bad idea.
Because that's style points. Are you that accurate? Are you just hitting nothing but net?
And I mean, it's like what I said before. I like to what you call it? I like to celebrate skill. That's that's why I'm more in favor of 2 feet in bounds. Not just because I feel like 2 feet actually equals being in bounds. I just think it just requires skill, and in sports, skill and sports go hand in hand. So I just think that I think you should be rewarded for skill.
Well, and plus biomechanically, when you have just one leg down, you can reach out further, which It's more impressive that you can keep 2 feet in bounds, still stretch as far as you pretty much perform a Pilates move and catch the ball under duress. So, yeah.
Right. That's why I've always been in favor of that. Also, this is a controversial one, and I think a lot of people probably like this one too. A point is deducted for missed free throws.
I would be for that. Don't miss. You got a chance to score some free points. Don't miss.
Once again, that goes back to celebrating skill, awarding skill. If you have the skill to make free throws, you're rewarded. If you don't have the skill, it's going to be detriment to your team. So everybody will learn to make free throws.
Well, they will also learn to win because written on here is that losing team dies.
It's probably in North Korea, right?
Right. If the team were to lose, they could put in front of a firing squad and shot to death. Bang, bang, bang. Unlike their shots that didn't go in.
Right.
So,
but anybody in the chat, I mean, let us know what your guys' thoughts about this. Personally, for me, I'm okay with the slam dunks being worth 3 points if it like regards to the NBA, because you kind of don't see it as much as we used to. But I doubt it. That's something that we would see in the NBA.
Shoot, why don't they do that in WNBA? Slam dunks are worth 3 points.
Perfect idea.
That'll get some motivation. You'll see more women than we already know of, prime, that can dunk.
Right now, so, yeah, I'm here for that. I'm here for that. 3-pointers are worth 4 if the ball doesn't touch the rim. I think this is a no-brainer.
Yeah, everybody should adopt that.
I think that's a good one. I think that's a really good one.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go out on the street. I'm gonna hit an all net, but like that's 4 points. What? That's not like you shot that from the baseline. It was all net though. It didn't say where I had to shoot. But it says 3-pointers, so it had to be
behind the line, right?
Yeah.
And point is deducted for missed free throws. Now, this one right here will be controversial, but I think that could be implemented in the NBA as well because
if Shaq were doing it.
Not only that, I mean clutch time when the game is on the line. Just imagine.
Last
free throws
minutes, if you miss the first one, you don't get a second one. How about that?
Well, they kind of do that. They kind of do that in college with 1-and-1. So
yeah, that's true. It's like you earn a free throw, but in the NBA, you get it anyway. But you can lose that privilege by missing the first free throw.
Right. But I think 3 out of the I'll say 2 out of the 4 is actually ideal. I would not be against I wouldn't be against 2 out of the 4. The last 2 is I think that will actually, we know what all these changes they're trying to make in the NBA anyway.
Oh God.
I think this is a change that actually wouldn't be a bad idea.
Shoot, they could have tested this out in the All-Star game instead of doing what they are going to do right now.
You're right, and I may talk about that on a later episode because the All-Star game is second week of February.
Mm-hmm.
Those rules are ridiculous. I mean, not the rules, but the format is ridiculous. I'm sorry, I'm all for charity. Don't get me wrong. But the way they got it set up is so confusing. You have casual fans that like to watch, they watch like Christmas, All-Star game, NBA finals, or let's say NBA playoffs. Most casual people do watch around that time, and you don't want to make things too confusing for people who barely watch. You're trying to pull them in, not push them away. And this is one way that they're doing it, in my opinion. But like I said, I think it's pretty cool for those 2 rules. Nobody really talked about it in the chat yet. I'm surprised, but nevertheless, what are your thoughts about the rules? You think they should be implemented as well? Well, at least the 2 that I picked.
Well, let me go back and look at those again. Like I said, I think for the WNBA, the slam dunks could be thrown in there. I would say just the first one and the last 2. So I got 3 out of 4 that could be adopted in the the first one wouldn't be adopted in the NBA. This one would be WNBA.
Right.
Because dunks are so rare. So just like back in the day, 3-pointers was so rare. So I would have the slam dunks in the WNBA, but the last 2 I would add to all leagues. So 3-pointers are worth 4 if the ball doesn't touch the rim, all netters, and points deducted from missed free throws. But I would add the 1-and-1 situation. To the NBA. I would add the 1-and-1 situation.
Yeah, 1-and-1s are pretty good. I don't have a problem with that because, like I said, I'm always in favor, no matter what the sport is. I'm always in favor of rewarding skill. If you have the skill, you should be rewarded. That should make other players in the league step their game up.
Yeah,
you shouldn't have. I feel that you will have people that are specialized in certain things, but you're gonna have to, actually show some skill to be successful in certain things, and no matter what you specialize in. And I think it's perfect for that. Um, anything else on this topic? We're probably gonna touch back on it because we know people usually come to the podcast late just to get people's ideas of what they think about these rules. And
Mm-hmm.
I guess after that we'll just jump straight to the Super Bowl and try to get other people, not only our thoughts but other people's thoughts about the Super Bowl as well. Who's going to win it or whatnot. So,
Hmm.
nevertheless, let's jump back to this Super Bowl 54.
All right, so
Um,
here we are.
Finally, we getting some the last season of football till we jump to the XFL.
Mm-hmm.
And we got the Chiefs playing the 49ers. I think the Chiefs are the home team, so it's going to be 49ers Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
Nevertheless, um, I'm still standing by what I said when I first found out who's playing against each other. I think it's going to be a highly competitive game. Neither team's going to blow out each other. I would be surprised if it did, but if it is a blowout, I'll say the Chiefs will probably blow out the Niners. I don't see the Niners blowing out the Chiefs because the Chiefs' offense is too good, but I also think that the 49ers defense is good enough to slow them down, and the Chiefs defense isn't good enough to slow down the running game and the better passing game of the 49ers versus the Titans. So with that said, I'm taking the 49ers in a close game, maybe a 35-31, 28-24, maybe 31-28. Garoppolo going to have an average and mediocre game. I think Pat Mahomes is going to have a monster game, but I also feel that he can give away maybe one or two turnovers due to him being somewhat of a gunslinger.
Mm-hmm.
And with that pass rush and the 49ers defense, they're good for at least one turnover. So I just think it's going to be a close game, fairly high scoring. I'll say like a 31-28.
Hmm. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
But the keys to this game are definitely gonna be the 49ers possession game on offense. If they can keep Patrick Mahomes off the field, then they have a shot. Um, I don't know. I feel like they could. I feel like they have the defense that can contain him and keep him in the pocket. Once he's back on the field on offense, their 49ers defense being there because the last two teams that initially had him contained all of a sudden lost containment and then hell broke loose. All of a sudden you seen points getting put up like crazy because Mahomes could go wherever he wanted to. I wonder how long the 49ers can hold up. Once they lose containment on him, uh, it's anyone's game, and DBs don't really cover for that long, and God forbid you put somebody on the tight end on a Kelce.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's going to be a 2-touchdown affair that Kansas City is going to win by, and I think also it'd be cool to now have the other Native American team in the league win a Super Bowl because last I checked they haven't won a Super Bowl
No,
before.
they never won one.
I believe they've won in the AFL, but
Yeah, they won
not
an
in
AFL.
not when they combine the leagues in the
Right.
Super Bowl era. So I think they were in the first two,
Right.
or were they? Whatever the case, this would be their first Super Bowl victory. So I'm going Chiefs. Andy Reid gets to finally have his Super Bowl championship. I think he's a good coach. He definitely deserves it. There's plenty of time for Kyle to get back here. So
Right. I got
Chiefs,
you. I got you.
go Chiefs.
Yeah, I think one thing nobody's really talking about is Nick Bosa.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's talked about him at all. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't think nobody on that chief offensive line can contain him. Also, you have other guys on that defensive line that's actually pretty good. So, not necessarily trying to contain Pat Mahomes is going to be an issue. He's just going to need time to throw the ball. They can live, and to be honest with you, I honestly think the 49ers could win the game if Pat Mahomes is running the ball. I don't think he's that big of a threat. It's not like we're talking about a Lamar Jackson here. If they're gonna let him run around a little bit, I think that's a W for the 49ers outside of him slinging the ball around. That's what's going to kill the 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, if it's going to be a blowout, the Chiefs are way more capable of blowing out the 49ers than the 49ers blowing out the Chiefs. Now, I will say this, though. Another thing, the 49ers did play the Packers, which do have a better defense than the Chiefs, and they did a pretty good job against them. But that was more of the running game and throwing a little bit of the passing game in it, like very little bit. So I'm not sure if they'll be able to run the ball that effectively. Maybe. I know that the Chiefs can't go into the game trying to stop the run like they did with the Titans, because if they do that, Emmanuel Sanders and Deebo Samuels, they're going to be open. And there's no way. I mean, like, this is no Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill can't find nobody. I mean, he's a decent quarterback, but I think Garoppolo is better, and Garoppolo has better weapons. And even then, Tannehill threw for 200 yards with no turnovers. Garoppolo could do better than that. So I see what you're saying. I'm not saying that the Chiefs can't win this game. I think they.
It's going to be a competitive game overall. Yeah, I'm like, it's not going to be one of those situations.
Yeah, I really will. But I think one thing I've noticed on Twitter, a lot of people are putting stock in just the quarterback position of the Chiefs, and I understand that. We have been led to believe that it's a quarterback-driven league, and in some ways it is. But if you look at this season, and even some cases of last season, running the ball and playing defense still holds up very well. So we're looking at to where, we're looking at where that the 49ers are well equipped to run the ball, and their defense is actually pretty stout. The Chiefs can run the ball as well, and they can run the ball even with the short passing game. I've always been suspect of the Chiefs' defense, and I think that's going to be their Achilles heel. I think Pat Mahomes will keep them in the game, but I just don't think their defense will hold up enough to not to not hold the 49ers down for too long.
See, I have a question, because I was asking about LaShawn McCoy the last game the Chiefs played in the AFC Championship. Is he going to be active for the Super Bowl? And I haven't heard anything. I don't know.
As far as I know, he is active. As far as I know,
I could see him being an X factor, but I could also see Sammy Watkins being an X factor, wide receiver for the Chiefs.
I mean, I can see pretty much all their receivers are. When you have Pat Mahomes as a quarterback, Pat Mahomes is easily able to, make pretty much any receiver on that team look good. He's going to be able to. He's going to be able to get them open or throw them open. And with that being said, they're not going to lose the game because Pat Mahomes is inadequate. I know that. That's not going to be the reason why if the Chiefs do lose, it's not going to be the reason because of Pat Mahomes being not stepping up. He's going to put up his numbers.
Yeah, basically what I'm saying is that, like, with believing Watkins being an X factor, I believe that the defensive game plan is going to be looking at just really just focusing on three players: Mahomes, Kelce, and the little guy
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill.
Right.
So they'll probably slant their coverages towards them if they happen to be on the same side of the field. Watkins could be on the completely other side of the field. That could be a situation because the way San Francisco plays their defense, Sherman is on one side.
He's on the left side.
Yeah, he'll be on the left side. So more than likely, the Chiefs will just have their playmakers on the right side. And I don't know. This could be a situation where Kyle or whoever the defensive coordinator is, he may switch it up and like, all right, Sherman, you can play on the other side. Just follow where their playmakers are, but still play the same type of defense.
If they do that, they're losing the game. If they do that, the 49ers are losing because that's not his game. If he has to go, if he doesn't play the left side, they're going to be a problem. Look. Richard Sherman has the potential of being exposed if he goes to the right side. Point blank. That's not his forte, and he rarely. I don't think he ever really played off the left side in his career in the NFL. I could be wrong, but I don't ever remember him doing it. If he does that, Pat Mahomes is going to torture him.
But here's the question: it's like if he's going to be playing the same type of defense, then what? I can understand the intricate nature of being on the left side, different pivot, different, foot planting, the footwork that's incorporated with it. But
Well, just look at it. Look what,
but I'm saying like visually, like and then also looking at him being if he winds up on the right side at any point in this game, how he's able to read the offense.
Look what happened when he was on the right side against Green Bay, and he got torched for that long ball, and then he turned around. That's what the whole thing between him and Reeves started because he was on the right side of the field. He does that against Pat Mahomes. They're gonna pick him apart every time. Now, don't get me wrong. He did get an interception after the fact,
right?
But when he was on the right side of the field, he got torched. Aaron Rodgers finally got figured out he was on that side of the field, and he just did what he had to do. So he has to play the left. If he plays the right for at least 10% of the game, and that's very low. That's low, but that's well enough too many times for Pat Mahomes to get you. So if they do that, 49ers are losing. I know I said the 49ers are going to win, but if they switch that up, it's a wrap. You know what I mean? So, but like I said, to me, at the end of the day, it just boils down versus the Chiefs defense versus the 49ers defense. And I think the 49ers defense is way more superior than the Chiefs defense. The Chiefs defense looked good the other week because they basically, they damn near had to play against a one-dimensional team. So it was like, yeah, the Chiefs defense is this, and this, but any other time they're like, putting up points, and the other team's putting up points or whatever the case may be. I mean, you can even go back to the Texans game and you saw what happened there. If the coach did what he was supposed to do, the Texans could have probably been advancing, but
yeah,
he just got promoted to GM. Well, look at that.
Yeah, that's,
you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
crap.
Like I was like, the Chiefs defense is, they're not terrible, but I always thought they were suspect throughout the year, and throughout the year they haven't been world beaters against their opponents. Pat Mahomes has basically been doing what he had to do.
Now here's the thing: there's two people on the Chiefs defense that I would not sleep on. You got Tyrann Mathieu.
Matthew, absolutely, I agree with that. I agree
because it seems like he's covering multiple people, like people would do in Madden. Like they would use their linebacker, cover multiple people, zigzag,
right,
and zigzag across the field, whatnot. And the other person I would say don't sleep on it is Suggs.
Yeah, Tarek Suggs got much more in the tank. I totally agree.
Yeah,
and I think those two guys. I'm not whoever that guy said that predicted they was going to stop. What's his name? Henry. I don't find him as an X factor at all. He just sounded good at the time because, I mean, like I said, the game plan was to put 9 in the box. You better stop somebody when you do that. But nevertheless, he sounds like a prophet, and whatever. Nobody cares about him. I'm not saying he's not. I'm not saying he's a bad player, but you're not that guy. We everybody knew what the game plan was as soon as the Titans went to the AFC Championship game. And that goes for any other team that was other than the Chiefs. You knew you had to stop Derrick Henry. But Tyrann Mathieu, absolutely. Terrell Suggs, and somebody else on that defense is actually pretty decent as well.
It's one of the tackles.
Yeah, one of the tackles. I will definitely give them props. But like I said, when you have a Deebo Samuels, you have Emmanuel Sanders, and nobody even talked about the tight end Kittle, and then you have those 3 running backs. Like the 49ers offense, you see, that's another thing. A lot of people, once again, saying it's a quarterback-driven league. Everybody's hanging their hat on Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo can literally dump off short passes, which damn near any quarterback can do, and be very effective. Unlike Pat Mahomes, for all intents and purposes, Pat Mahomes is going to have to throw the deep ball to beat the 49ers. They're not going to win this game with dinking and dunking. They're just not. The 49ers defense tackle very well, and they don't really get beat after the point of contact. If you get Tyreek Hill over the top, listen, I can see Tyreek getting maybe 1, maybe 2 50-yard touchdown bombs. I get that. But if you're going to start throwing like 5, 7-yard, passes, it's going to come a time where the 49ers are going to stop that, where they're going to be like maybe throwing some incompletions. They're going to be a 3rd and long, and he's going to have to throw the bomb. Like Garoppolo, that's his game. So they can get away with that. And with the Chiefs defense, if Tyrann Mathieu is not in position, those 5-yard, 7-yard catches can go for 20 or 30. Because really, I don't really put any faith in the Chiefs secondary outside of Matthew. Their cornerbacks are slightly suspect. So
Yeah, and it's funny because their cornerbacks are the Redskins' former cornerbacks, Will Fuller and Bashad Breeland.
Right, Breeland. Right.
So Breeland, see the thing about Breeland is that he can get torched because he'll put too much pressure on himself. But when he just plays, he'll have those games where he will shut. Because in the past, this man shut down Dez Bryant, and when Dez was kind of in his prime. So I'm like, Dez is nothing now, but back then Dez was kind of unstoppable at one point. So that man shut him down. Right. So he's capable of having a game like that. And the guy on the defensive line, I think you were looking for, was Frank Clark.
No, he's the one that's talking all that noise about Derrick Henry. Whatever.
Well, you got him.
I don't see him. I don't see him as a factor in this game. He's going to have trouble. He's going to have trouble.
You got Chris Jones, that guy.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah. So
but I just don't think. I don't think that he's going to have the help that he needs to stop Mozart and Breda and I don't even think I'm not even sure what's his name playing because he had an injury, Tevin Coleman. I think that's like the only injury that's really significant in the Super Bowl. But I mean, nevertheless, he's not going to have those 2 and 3 linebackers behind him or the other guys up front to help Frank Clark stop a running back because they're going to have to respect the passing game. And I mean, just like what King David said right here, he said, no, not this one. He said the Niners linebackers aren't going to allow dink and dunk. They're going to good cover and tackle. And I think they will. I think that they're going to let, I ain't going to say they're going to let, I think Andy Reid's going to come up with some schemes for players to get open and catch the ball, but I don't see too many yards after the catch. If they're going to be any yards after the catch, it's going to be some over-the-top catch, and they have to outrun everybody. But if it's a catch over the middle, the 49ers defense is going to stop that very quickly. They may get 2 yards after the catch. So that's the issue. Ravens Nation also says, if it turns out to be a shootout, I hope it's a good one, not that crap we had with the Patriots versus Eagles. That one, it was an okay Super Bowl.
I thought that was a good Super Bowl, and the way that one ended, it ended appropriately.
Yeah,
so.
I agree. I think this Super Bowl does have the makings to be in a shootout, so I don't have an issue with it being one. But I'm just saying, like I said earlier, I just think it's the Eagles. Not the Eagles, damn it. The Chiefs, the Chiefs defense versus the 49ers defense. Which one is going to step up the most? And if the Chiefs defense step up, I tip my hat to them because they stepped up big time. But when you look at the 49ers defense, I mean, they've been good all year. From the pass rush to the DBs, they've just been pretty decent all year. Pat Mahomes just has the ability to put points up against anybody. So that's where you're going to probably have the shootout.
Right.
So I mean, it's going to be a good one. February 3rd, Sunday. This Sunday. I'm definitely going to be watching that. It's going to be pretty interesting to see what goes on. Any last thoughts to that, DJ?
I have no other thoughts than I'll be glad when this one's over because the following Saturday, XFL. X gonna give it to you. It's the commercial that they playing now.
So. Oh yeah, I saw that. XFL starts a few days afterwards, so
Saturday.
Yeah, that's Saturday. So definitely, guess who's going to be covering that? This podcast is going to be
right. Exactly.
Yeah, we're definitely going to be on it.
So the football coverage never stops.
No, not at all. Where's my Twitter feed? Oh, since we got more people in the chat right now, before we get back to the topics at hand as far as electronic arts, let's look at these North Korean basketball scoring rules again. So, because some people weren't here, so we're gonna look at that and
yeah, we're gonna bring this monstrosity back.
Yeah, we're gonna bring it back.
But there was some good ones for those that are just joining in.
I'm gonna let you read that one, and I'm gonna pull up the fiscal year numbers for EA. So I'll let you, so people can actually get a whiff of that.
Okay, so for those that just joined, these are the North Korea basketball scoring rules that that just popped up as of today. It's kind of funny. So the first one, slam dunks are worth 3 points, up from 2. You have field goals in the final 3 minutes of the game are worth 8 points, up from 2. So it seems like the final 3 minutes, and it seems like the final 3 minutes of the game are going to be hectic. People are going to be trying to score left and right, and they may be like punching each other out, arch rivals style, to get those 8 points per basket. So then this one is actually pretty good. 3-pointers are worth 4 if the ball doesn't touch the rim. So if it's all net from 3, it's 4.
I got a question though.
What's that?
What if it's from 3 but it's an air ball?
Well, it didn't go in the basket.
Hey, it didn't say that.
Well, these are summarized rules.
No, I'm just messing.
I know. But then you have a point is deducted for missed free throws. So there is a penalty for missing free throws, which I dig that. I like that. But the one that we don't have mentioned is the one that the losing team gets executed in front of the firing squad. That was something
that's not a real rule, man.
No, it is a rule. I'm telling you. If you watch a North Korean game, you think they're playing. You don't think they're playing for their lives? All of a sudden, tear gas on the court.
Oh man, you stupid, man. Yeah, but these are the rules. I mean, I think like I picked 2 out of the 3, saying the 3-pointers are worth 4 if the ball does. If it's an all net, I think the NBA should try to implement that. Mm-hmm. And a point deducted for missed free throws. I think that's another one that should be implemented. I think that's going to be pretty. That'll be a little innovative on the NBA's part to make the game a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, and I was saying the WNBA should adopt the slam dunks are worth 3 points. You're gonna see more. You're gonna see more women dunking. I'm like, it's already been happening for the last decade and some change. Prime. So.
Does Prime really work for Amazon?
I don't know. I say his name when it comes to women dunking because he tried to school me on who could dunk, and I had to show him that there have been more women dunking for a longer period of time that he was trying to put out there. So
the reason why I asked that because Prime he did some type of video or something in the middle of the day.
He probably had Amazon delivery.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He had the Amazon jacket on, so I was like, "Yo, Prime, do you work for Amazon?" And I thought it was kind of funny because he worked for Amazon and people.
I hope he was parked because I used to work for a rival company and I'm like, police frown upon videotape him while driving.
I drive trucks, and I think Doug Thomas, he drives trucks as well. If you get caught with the phone in your hand while you drive, I think it's like for us, DOT is like almost a $3,700 fine.
Oh,
it's like no joke. That's don't play
a fireable offense.
Yeah, it could be a fireable offense too if you're working, but it's like, but once you're fired, you're still gonna have that damn fine to pay for. You know what I mean?
But you know what? I can't say shit because I actually did a podcast while I was driving.
Yeah, you trying to lose your job?
No, the job. Well, I already left that job. I was just saying when it happened, I was like, I don't know if you guys were watching back then, but yeah, it was around tail end last year because I jumped in for a few moments and y'all saw me, and yeah, I was driving at the same time. So
trying to get killed.
Hey, I don't have to worry about that no more. So I'm good.
All right, that's cool. Understood. Let's see. Electronic Arts. Fiscal year. Let me tell y'all something, man. We all sit here and talk about the simulation stuff. We talk about, they need to get back to the basics, and I'm here for it. I'm definitely here for EA getting back to what they should do.
You see what King David put in there? Every loss is another executed family.
Oh man, that's messed up. Oh, that's messed up.
Oh
yeah, I saw that. EA is making money. I mean, we kind of knew that. They're making money. I mean, we did this on episode 53. I'll never forget this when I showed the reason why they shouldn't have any interest into making a full-on simulation game or anything like that. Now, don't get me wrong. Madden 20 plays pretty well. I'm not saying it's one of their better outings of a football game, but is it where it needs to be? No. If you have EA access right now, you can get it for free because I think it's in the vault now. Perfect time to play it now. You can actually see what they actually did to the game because it's okay. What you think, DJ? What do you think about Madden 20?
At launch or now?
Overall.
Touch and go. It was touch and go for me because it was at launch. It was decent. Still was kind of lacking on franchise. I was digging all the superstar X Factor abilities until they started giving them to everybody, and it's just touch and go.
Yeah, I mean, not only that. I mean, it's just the things that they're trying to implement. I don't know if it's now, but I know definitely it's going to be in Madden 21 when you can wear different apparel and get a boost. I think that's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I think you pulled that up as well, DJ.
I see something with that, and it's not good. It's not good at all.
No, when you can wear Nike shoes and all of a sudden your attributes go up. I mean,
that's why and it's funny because you would think you would have stuff like that in Ultimate Team, but to have it float out into the actual gameplay, I don't know if it's just. Right now, it's for any player that's wearing those shoes will get like an extra boost in their speed. And speed, acceleration, and agility?
Let me tell you something. This is one of the things we talk about microtransactions not being in franchise mode. Mm-hmm. This is the first way that it could trickle into franchise mode easily.
Yep.
You look at like MLB The Show, even what they did. I mean, they didn't do it to give a player a boost, but when they first said like, "Oh, now we have Nike apparel in our game," obviously you could put that in their franchise mode because now they can wear it, but they don't monetize off of it like this. But we already know what EA is about, and this is the first way to say, "Hey, you can buy this, and this for your player in franchise mode," and bam, he's going to have, his overall catching is going to go up just because you have on Nike gloves. Mm-hmm. So this is the first way. Yeah, I mean, I promise you. I think what wasn't that boost is in Madden 20 now, right?
Maybe in the Ultimate Team, maybe
but
not necessarily through an apparel, but just through like the type of cards they pull. I wouldn't know. I haven't spent.
I don't play
second
it, so I don't
in
know.
The Ultimate Team.
But you know what? This is a perfect way for them to keep the game alive until Madden 21 because a lot of people, they kind of dropped the game after the Super Bowl. But if they implement other stuff to make people go wow, and once they go wow, they're going to try to get, you know what I'm saying? They're going to try to get on this game and try to get into that type of aspect of where they can do their players like this. And
now I was going to say the thing about having something like this, it's not the first time we've seen something like this. We've seen something. I'm like, if you go to NBA 2K20 or in the past NBA 2Ks with their My League, I think in the last 2 years they've incorporated that injury history.
Right.
If you have like a certain support apparel, like an arm sleeve, knee brace, stuff like that, it helps aid in the player's recovery. It helps them maybe recover faster and maybe resist any lingering. But theirs makes sense because it only talks about the injury system within the game, so it's not like an extra boost. It makes sense because basketball players, football players, and stuff like that, when you get hurt, you wind up if it aids in recovery. And some players, they lead them on for the rest of their career or whatever. Some, after their injury is healed, they do away with it.
And so I have no problem with that aspect of it because let's say, for instance, if somebody had an elbow injury and they put on the Carmelo Anthony type sleeve on the elbow, and that injury won't be as bad to them. Like, say their shooting might be off a little bit because the elbow's not fully healed, or it's just going to be a lingering problem. But when they put that sleeve on, let's say they'll drop, maybe the shooting may drop like 2 or 3 on overall. But with that sleeve on, it only may drop only one.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of see what I'm saying? And I
Yeah.
know we talked about this earlier. Like it's kind of like what they're doing with the Gatorade packs in NBA 2K.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that aspect of that's like if there's any sports microtransaction, I do like the way what they did with the Gatorade one because it makes sense when you drink Gatorade or when you drink any other supplement or whatever, it does naturally gives you a boost. So I like that because it makes sense. It's realistic. It's not like all of a sudden you're going to be shooting threes and doing all kind of crazy stuff. It just gives
Mm-hmm.
you a boost based on their rating. So that's like the only transaction that's kind of like quote unquote pay to win or anything like that I can get on board with because in sports that's what really happens. A lot of people play better because they're not as dehydrated or they get a boost because of an energy drink or something like something weird like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm okay with that because it makes sense.
Now with the just to go back on the cleats. Now I can attest that certain cleats make you feel like you're moving faster, or
Lighter
actually,
shoes,
yeah, they're lighter shoes.
better
I'm like,
traction.
I feel like if they would explain that better, it would come across better.
It has to be done right because my thing
Right.
is the way EA has is like if you wear certain apparel is just going to make you like way better than the next person instead of your let's say because see they don't even have this in the game, DJ. They don't even have it to where you slip and fall like they used to. So certain cleats won't make traction even better. Now to
Mm-hmm.
run faster, I can see that, but the acceleration shouldn't jump from a 75 overall to a 85 or something like that.
Yeah, I
I don't
think
think.
they said it was only going to be like a couple of points,
Oh, really?
not like a. I'm just guessing that it'll be like a couple of points boost, not like a big boost or
Like a
anything.
superhero type deal, right?
Yeah. I'm like, if
Okay.
they keep it within a couple of points, then it's just like, all right, well, I could. But the thing is, it's like then you're gonna see people put that same shoe on other players. But right now, they said they're just equipping the players that are part of the Nike family. They're equipping the players that actually wear the shoe
Right.
with
Now,
the
see, my
shoe.
thing is, like I said, like this is a gateway to get in franchise mode. And to be honest with you, if they implement it like you just said, or if they
Hmm.
implement it like they do my career, like with the Gatorade on 2K, I honestly wouldn't have a problem with this because once again, this could be where players differentiate from each other. Just say, for instance, if a DeAndre Hopkins had a deal with, let's say, Reebok or something like that,
Hmm.
and if he wears his Reebok shoes, or if another player wears the Reebok shoes that's kind of like his prototype, they may get like a 2 or 3 point boost in speed. I cause see that makes sense because you don't want to wear like your Skippy Prong Tong basic ass cleats on the field. You want to wear something that's more of light on your feet. That's
Hmm.
something that's made for football. So that could work. So
If they had ratings that really dealt with the psychological effect of wearing comfortable shoes and stuff like that, I could see that being more of a franchise mode type effect
right,
than
right.
just regular
Get
play
an
now
ultimate
or
team or
online
something
and
like that.
stuff like
Right.
that. Yeah.
Henry,
Hey, what's
how to
up,
say it?
Henry?
Yeah, I
Henry
can't pronounce that last name, but he's a
Henry
new
Chuk.
subscriber.
I'm gonna just say Chuk.
Yeah, he's a new subscriber to the channel, so we really appreciate you coming in. I hope you do enjoy the podcast and other content that is here on the channel. If you can't catch us live, down in the description, you can find us on Google Play, and you can find us on iTunes, so you can download the game the game. You can download the podcast for your
Download the game.
needs. Also, I'll put this banner up as well, which is down in the description as well. You can join our Discord to where you can fellowship with us on there as well and talk to us outside of the podcast. So we really appreciate you. We have a pretty good thing going here, and I really do appreciate you helping us build. But let's talk about these fiscal year numbers. This is what actually happened. So I'm gonna pull that up on the screen as well. Um, I remember when episode 53 when we talked about this,
Mm-hmm.
and and we said, why would they make another a full on sim game? Even though Madden 20, not only Madden 20, you have other EA games overall are in effect of this. But you look at the growth from Q3 fiscal year 19 to 20, they are making bank.
They racked it up.
Right. So yeah, quarterly, you see this, the numbers are in millions. They went from the live services, which is basically your microtransactions, they went from $784 million to $993 million in a year. That's the quarterly what they made in that particular quarter. And
you see the numbers on the side, the percentages, they tell you that's how much growth.
Right.
Versus the last
growth.
year, yeah.
Right. And the games in millions. They sold 317 million of full game downloads. Now don't get me wrong. Now this is not just Madden. This is NBA Live, unfortunately, NHL, FIFA, the Star Wars franchise.
Yeah, this is EA's library.
This is everybody in general. So it's not just. There's no way Madden is selling 317 million copies. I mean, that's just ridiculous. But we do focus on Madden because, obviously, that's one of the big proponents of what we do. Not only we do talk about NHL, we do talk about live, but Madden is the one because Madden is the one that's fairly pretty much exclusive. And we have a lot of people who want to see Madden or NFL branch out to other companies and other companies to make a football game. Listen, when you see numbers like this is another reason regardless. This is another reason why you may not see it. It's not because of the poor quality of the game or the sales aren't there. You look at that green right here. It's ridiculous. Now look at the last 12 months over here. Remember, once again, the numbers are in millions. Now, they made, this is not total profit because they have expenses as well. I think it ended up being like 1.5 or 1.6 billion. But overall, they made $4.128 billion. And, overall, 780 million of that was in, full game downloads. Listen to this. $2.835 billion was in microtransactions, live services. I mean, that's your EA access, your EA Origin access. Those are all the my team. I mean, my player, not my player, but my team microtransactions. It's all that rolled into one. $2.8 billion, and even last year they made $2.241 billion. And that's up from 27%. Again, they went up 8%. The whole growth was the whole year-on-year growth is 15%. And the only thing that went down was the mobile sales. The mobile sales was from 6 million. 617 million.
Yeah, there you go.
And it went down to 513 million. Which was a 17% drop. And even with that 17% drop, they made $500 million off of mobile alone. So when we talk about Madden and why the license don't be exclusive or was not, why is it still exclusive, why EA do what they do, if anything, just look at the green. The green part tells you everything you need to know. DJ, you got any commentary to this?
Well, it's pretty much, if I can remember exactly, I definitely won't remember exactly what I said, but I could summarize what I probably said back then in the prior episode, was that this is the reason that they won't change a thing. It's the reason why they'll take, any complaints about, like, I'll say specifically Madden, and just, let it go in one ear and out the other.
Yeah, why should they change?
And why they place their hands on the dev's shoulders, because to them, to the suits, this is a winning strategy. What they implement and what the devs execute is what's getting them these increases. Doesn't matter how like VF just said, it's not a. It doesn't matter how much quality is in the game. It's about quantity.
Yeah, and if they can get people to just, if they can get somebody to just go in there and just say, look, we want you to buy this microtransaction or whatever, or we want you to buy these MUT cards, or we want you to do this with this loot box, and they do it. In some cases, they can. Just put it like this: in some cases, some people they purchase the game 2, 3, 4 times over just in microtransactions. Let's say, for instance, somebody bought a game for $59.99, $60 a game, and turns around and spend another $300 in microtransactions. That's 6 games that they bought. Because they bought the game one time, then you buy it 5 more times for the $300. So that's 6 copies off of one game.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like, I mean, just like what King David said right here. We all can hate it all we want, but it's a great business, and sadly it is.
It's
I
working.
hate to admit it.
Yeah.
I mean, because I'm gonna tell you right now, if I was running a business and I was making this kind of money, and people like us, which obviously we're a niche of a niche, we're way in the minority, saying like, hey, we want a full-on sim, and I had a group of people that's saying that, and I'm making this kind of money, I'm not gonna lie to you, I would ignore them too. I hate to say it, but it's just too much money involved. It's way too much money involved to sit here and say, man, look, we need this because it needs to replicate the sport. Well, I got 2.8 billion reasons not to change it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and this is one of the reasons why the momentum of breakdown videos from the sim community went down, because at the end of the day, you have some people who would make breakdowns also buying into the green portion of the financial aspect of EA increasing end over end. So it's just like, okay, you play MUT, but you're making breakdown videos at the same time. You're kind of feeding the beast just to be fed yourself.
Well, listen.
So
like I said, it's the reason why the breakdown videos initially started because we wanted a better game.
Right.
Then we realized why they're making the game to where they're making it. And to be fair, I'm going to be fair. I know DJ has his, he has his odds, and he may agree with me to an extent. Madden has made strides to be a somewhat better football game. Now, is it better than older titles overall? No. But when you look at this generation based on what they had before and what they have now, it is a better game this generation. I still hold Madden 25 in high regard. I still think it's the better game overall, but I think they've made strides to make a playable, decent football game. But for them to give us exactly what we want overall, it ain't happening. Not when they're making this kind of money. They can give us piece by piece and just live.
Yeah, this is the reason why we get crumbs for updates. Is that right there? And strictly the green alone is why you get like maybe something to franchise. Maybe franchise gets skipped the next year. Right? I know and this is funny because I know they already stepped out there and said we're going to be working on franchise every single year. I'm sitting back like it's kind of too late, but I take it worth a grain of salt, because no matter if I would have stopped buying the game, no matter if 20, maybe 2,000 people stop buying the game, it's not going to bother them any. They'll find 2,000 people to replace the people they lost. They'll definitely be able to replace my copy that I would have bought. They can replace us easily. So it's just like, we don't need to listen to them. We can replace them.
Right. I mean, it goes right back with what Ravens Nation said. He said it goes back to it only works because we allow it. That's our money supporting them. And just like what you said, DJ, what King David said, the point is, Ravens Nation, even if sim users quit buying, it wouldn't matter. Because like I said, one person, and I'm not even going to put the $300 out there again. One person can turn around and buy $60 worth of microtransactions. That's 2 copies. That negates my purchase already. Now imagine another person buying 1 copy and doing another $60 worth of microtransactions. Hell, what if you have 2 people doing $30 worth of microtransactions? It's still cancel it out. I know some people, and it's not even with Madden. I know some people that plays 2K. They put themselves out there on Twitter and said they purchased $1,000 worth of my team packs on 2K. They said they saved up the money to put $1,000. They put $1,000 aside just so when 2K19 came out, they put that $1,000 strictly into my team packs. That's ridiculous. But you have people like that. King David also said the casuals cover any loss by microtransactions. Could you imagine people who were boycotting 2K and this guy spent $1,000 off microtransactions? How many copies that he canceled out for people who have not bought the game? You see what I'm saying? Ravens Nation also said, let's not talk about just Madden. I agree. Battlefield was never a military sim, but had elements, especially in Battlefield 4. But he said Bad Company 2, 3, and 4. When they went arcade with BF1 and BF5, the sales went down. I think Battlefield 1 sales went down because it came out of nowhere. Nobody expected them to go that far back. Battlefield 5 sales went down because the way they just advertised the game.
Yeah, their marketing for Battlefield 5 was awful.
Yeah, because
then the dude was like, well, if you don't like the direction we're going, then don't buy the game. I'm like, oh, okay.
Right. Because Battlefield 5, overall, the gunplay is nice. The game is not bad. It's just that they tried to do this SJW and all this other extra stuff that just make the game. So, and then on top of that, the updates after Battlefield 5 just made the game terrible.
Yeah, I was following Westy the whole entire time, and Westy was just like, oh, I can't believe this game has gotten to this point, because we can all look at Battlefield when a lot of us entered Battlefield's world around Bad Company 2. Right. I know there were a couple of Battlefields before then. A bunch of Battlefields before that, but Bad Company 2 is pretty much a lot of people's entry point into their world, and enjoyed the game to the apex of Battlefield 4. Some will say the apex was Battlefield 3. Battlefield 1.
3 is a game that not too many people talk about anymore, and that game is just as good as 4.
Mm-hmm. And then Battlefield 1 it started that trend, but it was still good. Like the gunplay was good, even though it had that kind of like bullet spray that was annoying everybody.
The problem with 1 was it went backwards and it went too far back. It kind of threw people off guard when it came out, because you had the Battlefield 4 momentum going, and it was a really good momentum. Battlefield 4 was like going up, and then I'm not even going to talk about the hardline game.
Magic. Oh God, yeah. I'm glad Ravens Nation didn't. Yeah, nobody talks about Hardline, and the single player was good, but
I highly recommend, if you get a chance to get Battlefield Hardline, play the campaign. I do. Now that the story and the campaign was actually really good.
I may go back and play it myself.
Yeah, I might do a stream of that.
May have to because remember they got copyrighted music in there. You may not be able to do it. Yeah, especially to open it the car chase scene. Right. Yeah.
Exactly. I'll be getting copyright strikes all over the place. You're right. Yeah. But I highly recommend the campaign.
They screwed themselves by not allowing streamers to. I think you just have to turn the music off, but it doesn't hit the same when you don't have Public Enemy in that chase scene.
Right. But like I said, I don't think Battlefield 1 was a bad game. I think it took a step back when people really wasn't looking for it. They wasn't looking for it at the time. I think it's a good game, but
people got annoyed with the gas mask mechanic.
Oh God, yeah, that was terrible.
Yeah, because you see Battlefield 5, you're still in that era that they could throw gas and you wear the gas mask, but you don't see that anymore. You just have to take it.
You know what a you know what a gas mask and the gas the gas grenades really took off?
Where?
In Mag.
Oh boy.
Yo, I love that game, man. Leave my game alone, man.
That game.
Let's look at other people in the
chat.
Ravens Nation said, my point is I know Madden would never go back to the sim days from the PS2, but give us a separate sim. I agree. Why don't they? They're making enough money, and I doubt they'll do this, but I would love for them to just make a franchise mode EA football game. Why not? Why not?
They're not gonna.
No, they're not. I know they're not.
Yeah,
I know they're not.
I'm just gonna say it is they're not gonna eat their own profits.
Yeah, they're cannibal. Not only that, they'll cannibalize the.
That's a kid term. Remember? Yeah, that I'm not saying a kid term. I'm like kid. That's he was on the show.
Right, he was on the show a while back.
While ago.
Matter of fact, we need to get him back on one day.
Yeah, but he was the main one that would say that it's like you cannibalizing the profits. Nah, they ain't gonna do that.
Yeah, you'll cannibalize your base if you do that. I totally agree, but it's needed because they tried, and when they really tried to put an emphasis on it, remember when they did the different modes, people got upset about that, and it was all in one game. Mm-hmm. So could you imagine when they do, if they did separate the games? But I totally agree.
Yeah, because somebody was talking about a version for the competitive gamers and a consumer version.
Right. Like a tournament style Madden and a consumer version would just.
And it's funny because back in the day, I think they had tournament edition Maddens.
The ones for when they around the time when they had the Madden bus and stuff.
Yeah,
I think they did. Don't quote me. I think they did. Let's see. Both Ravens Nation and King David said this. Battlefield 3 was better than 4. I've been in the Battlefield community for a while, and I never heard a diehard fan say 4 was better than 3.
Well, no, you're going to hear it here. Battlefield 4 was better than Battlefield 3. I
think 4 was better than 3 as well, but I think Battlefield 3 was very good.
Yeah, they both were good games. It's like MJ versus LeBron here. Two good players. There's no sense comparing them against each other.
A lot of people don't know. Like a lot of people still play Battlefield 3 on PC.
Bad Company 2 is still the GOAT though.
And Bad Company 2, that's another. A lot of people listen. I went to play Bad Company 2 on PC. I got mocked because the game's been around so long. Mm-hmm. They know every aspect of the game. So maps. There was nowhere for me to go. I was trying to run with other people because they know where to go. That's the only way I really survived. But when I tried to I'm gonna cut this corner to cut people off. No, that's not a corner. That's somewhere where somebody's already at. And
I remember Battlefield Bad Company 2. That demo was probably the most played demo in that game's history.
Right,
everybody would play on that snow map. They would be on the hill sniping, and you could only kneel. You couldn't. You could only
go
crouch.
prone.
You couldn't go prone. I remember Semifall was complaining about that. He was like, I can't go prone, blah, 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 blah. Well, you also complain about a cover system in Battlefield. I'm just like, just get behind cover. Don't worry about it. Jeez.
One day I want to talk. One day I want to have a discussion about certain people gaming skills, but I ain't gonna do that right now.
Well, you was playing that game last night.
Hey man, I was getting mocked for a second, yo.
Yo, that game was
that game's great.
Yeah, that game looks good. That game, I would give that game a run.
Yeah, that game, Guns Going Cannoli. Go check out my Twitch channel, and I played a full playthrough. I beat the game last night. It was a great game. I liked the first one, so I wanted to get a second one to run, and I highly recommend that game. I think the game's no more than like $14.
Well, shoot,
matter of fact, you can get it on PS4 as well. I think.
Ravens Nation, I actually do have footage of Battlefield. I think I may have footage from Battlefield 3 on my channel. You probably have to. I do have a playlist for this, and I don't know if it's in 2012 or 2013 playlist, but I do have Battlefield 3 in there. I have it where I racked up 500 kills, my first 100 kills. Seeing Crossing got a special video in there, so. Yeah, I loved Battlefield 3, but Battlefield 4 definitely was the better game to me.
Yeah, I think when you look at, they just had certain mechanics in Battlefield 4 that was just, it was wasn't really simulation, but it was just fun.
Well, I tell you what, when you seen that tower come down for the first time.
Oh, that was it. Even in because the thing was, they had it in Battlefield 3, but it was in the first part of the campaign. It wasn't necessarily in the It wasn't in the multiplayer.
Yeah,
when you first saw. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, because Battlefield 4 introduced Levolution,
right?
But before then, Bad Company 2 was destructible environment. So I think between 3 and I think 3 kind of took a little bit of the destructible environment away. So that's
they
why
pulled it back.
They came back with Battlefield 4 with Levolution, and then Battlefield 1 kind of, they kind of
toned it. They kept toning it down ever since.
Then Battlefield 5 actually combined all of it. You have Levolution and you have destructible environment. Like everything's destructible.
Right.
And I think the physics for Battlefield 5, depending upon where the explosion came from, they said I remember them saying that if the explosion came from within the house, everything would look like the explosion.
Oh, Lord.
So I'm just like, and then you had what?
No, I was looking at what Ravens Nation said. I'm gonna pull it up in a second.
Oh, okay. But yeah, you have tanks running through houses and stuff. No one was safe. Yeah, no one is safe in Battlefield 5. No one was safe in Bad Company 2.
Listen,
and they need to come out with another Bad Company.
Bad Company 2, Battlefield 3, some parts of 4, Battlefield 1943, which is another game that nobody talks about.
What about Bad Company when they did Vietnam? That DLC.
Yeah, that's bad.
That expansion came out.
Yeah, that's Bad Company 2. They did the Vietnam expansion. Yeah, but Battlefield 1943 is another one nobody talks about. It's full on multiplayer. The destruction in that game was excellent as well. Matter of fact, I wonder if they still have that game on Game Pass. I know people are still playing it after all this time. I mean, I 100% it on PS3. I'm gonna check on I'm gonna check on my 360 see if it's still on Xbox. I might give that game a few runs. The environment on that was great too. You can just look at some video on it on YouTube. Battlefield 1943. I mean, it's a slightly low budget, but it is a very good multiplayer game.
Yeah, and Ravens Nation is right, by the way. Levolution would slow down the frame rate on PS3 and 360.
Man, the game was already running at 30.
That's funny because I never played Battlefield 4 on 360. I remember I
played it. I played it for probably about 2 or 3 weeks because I got the game, and then the PS4 came out. And remember, for $10, you can upgrade your PS4, your experience, when you put the PS3 disc into the PS4 and you have the PS4 version. But he's right though. The game already ran at 30 frames, and then when that Levolution happened, oh my god!
10.
Right, it was like a slideshow. It was terrible. But
But I know the jump from 360 to if you got an Xbox, or if you got the PS4 or whatever, that jump to 60 frames per second. I was just I was lost. I was disoriented because I was just the last Battlefield I played was Battlefield 3, and it was 30 frames per second. All of a sudden, I jump on the next gen Battlefield, which people on PC were already playing 60 or higher with other Battlefields, but my jump was disorientating.
Yeah, see, I by the time I still had a low budget PC back then. I was running a 9. No, back then I had a 750 Ti.
Dude, all I gotta say is I still have a low budget PC. All I gotta say is Alienware Alpha. Everyone knows what I'm talking about.
Listen, I had a 750 Ti when Battlefield 4 came out on PC. And I was able to get 60 frames, but shit, I was running 720p, but that was 720p Ultra, because at 1080p Ultra, I was getting 30 frames. I had to upgrade quick, but I did get the feel of 60 frames, and yeah, it was great. But I think this generation, especially the mid part to later part of this generation, around when the Pro started coming out, or even right before the Pro came out, we all got a really good sense of what 60 frames felt like. And for me, I really felt it when The Last of Us 2 came out. Not Last of Us 2, but the remastered version came out. That game, even on a base PS4, ran at 60 frames per second. I was like, yo, games like this run like this on PC? Yeah, I need to upgrade my PC because it was a good experience. I know it threw people off for a minute, but there's no way that game's gonna run at 30 on these next consoles. That shit better not happen. It ain't no way.
It's going to happen because people are going to be like, where's the graphical jump?
Oh Lord! So we're gonna have a bunch of 4K 30 games again.
I'm like, that was the reason why we didn't have that many 60 frames per second on the. Oh shoot! another I wouldn't say athlete, a race car driver died today.
Oh wow.
John Andretti has died at the age of 56. He was part of
Man,
it. If anybody knows racing, the Andrettis are like
one of the
the,
class of the
the
racing world.
class families of the racing world. So yeah, rest in peace, John Andretti.
Yeah, that sucks. But yeah, I mean, like you said, it's like uh a lot of games didn't really take that advantage because even on a base PS4, they were capable of running PS3 and Xbox 360 games, even Xbox One. They were capable of giving you the games at 60 frames, but that 1080p, it wasn't going to have you. You still had to run them sub 1080p, but you could have got the 60 frames if they would have put it in there. Let's see. King David said both of him and Ravens Nation said that it felt like Rush was really good in Battlefield 3. The maps were built for it. He also said Rush worked very well in Battlefield 3 because the maps were very realistic, not just random created pizza. Hey, Rush wasn't too bad in Battlefield 4 as well. So because you got to remember, Bad Company 2 was the original OGs of Rush, and they did it very well as well.
Well, their maps. I would have to agree. The maps were made for Rush and Bad Company 1 and 2. Battlefield 3, you could play Rush. Battlefield 4 was more conquest oriented.
Yeah,
and then
it was.
I think once you got into the World War One and then World War II battlefields with 1 and 5, they became more front lines and breakthrough type maps, with conquest being the base. But and Rush wasn't even in there to start from the release. They had to put it in, and I don't know if it's still in there, but that was supposed to be a temporary thing to put Rush back in Battlefield. So there was a lot of people
asking for it.
Well, they didn't. They were wondering why it wasn't in there in the first place. There was a bunch of things that were supposed to be in Battlefield 5 that wound up not being in there, like the drag your buddy out of danger mechanic.
Yeah, they took that completely out.
And that was in their marketing campaign.
And what happened to the guy? What happened using the guy with the amputee? Remember, I think they had one guy.
Those are the elite characters that you can only purchase. You can't get them any other way. Like you can't. I mean, like purchase with your own money to get their currency. That's some bullshit.
Let's see. Oh yeah, King David also said that PS4, Xbox One was the players, they jump count to 64 because it was 32. It was 16 versus 16 on PS3. They jumped up to 32-32 or something like that. And Doug Thomas says Bad Company 1 and 2 was amazing. Not too much of 1 in my book, but 2 definitely. 1 wasn't bad though.
Yeah. The player count, that blew me away when I went from 360 to PS4. It was just like, wow, there's a whole lot going on. And
well,
all the explosions, the helicopters, the activity was just crazy.
But if you was a vet like me, you could have experienced that 128 on 128 on Mag though.
You know, if you look at my PSN, I did play Mag. That's why I can say it was a piece of shit.
Mag is the GOAT.
Mag is GOAT shit.
You hating.
I'm not hating. I played the game. I know what I saw. I didn't like it.
King David said this earlier about get woke, go broke. I thought that was funny because, don't get me wrong. I understand what they be trying to do in society nowadays. You know, they want you to create awareness to certain things that are somewhat controversial but should be accepted. I get it. But in some cases, it shouldn't be everywhere. And I think Battlefield 5 was a victim of that, trying to put it everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
and you kind of saw that with the Star Wars series. They really screwed that whole series up. I'm like, as much as I wanted to like ignore all that, you can't.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Before we close out, I need to put this up here. Ravens Nation said they need to stop fooling around and release Insurgency on console. I agree. That game is great.
That's been on hold for how long now?
Almost 2 years.
I remember when you were telling me last year.
It was supposed to be. Before. It was supposed to be on console since 2018.
Damn, what's the hold up?
I don't know, but it's a great game. I totally agree. It's a great game. I'm surprised that they haven't done it yet. I might play that later on tonight. Anything else you got?
I got nothing else. So, like I said, like I announced on Tuesday, I'm not gonna have any uploads of State of Decay 2 until next week. I just did a recording for episode 4. So, spoiler alert, I did make it past episode 3. So, so just let you know, I got a couple of episodes ready to release next week. So you're gonna get 2 episodes next week. I'm trying to release everything Netflix style, or actually Disney Plus style, just not Obi-Wan, the Kenobi series release type, where I go from 6 to 3 or whatever numbered 4 they want to release now. So
right. For me, I still want to. I'm still going to put more stuff on the channel. Things have happened. I mean, I got a couple of videos that I'm halfway done with. I just haven't really put them on the computer to finish. So one of them I've done with my phone. Another one I've done on my other computer, and I just have to upload them. But as far as the series, as far as the Madden 08, NCAA 08, I said this on the stream yesterday. I want to play the game more often. And I got tired of waiting for Wednesdays and Fridays to play them. So I don't want to stream them because I'm trying to play catch up for one, and I genuinely love playing the game. So I was going to put other content on my Twitch channel. Now, as far as the football games, the ones that happen that are actually interesting, I'm going to upload them to YouTube, and that's where the football games will be. I just don't feel like waiting a whole week to play NC State again or with the Raiders, and I know some people may be kind of disappointed about that, but trust me, I will put the good games on YouTube so you can go back and watch them. I see a lot of people who actually do like watching them on YouTube compared to waiting for me to stream, because the times I streamed are a little out of people's sync, out of their time or whatever. But I am going to be putting different games on my Twitch channel. The one I did last night was a success. It was a great game. It was fun. I actually enjoyed playing it. And I want to go ahead and finish Doom before Doom comes out. I'm about halfway done with that, so I may finish that on stream. And I do want to do Hardline, DJ. Now you got me thinking about it, but the music. Now I'm kind of worried about
the killer is the music,
because it's really a good campaign. It really is.
Oh, and one more thing, I just saw this on Twitter not too long ago. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order has already surpassed EA sales expectations and could sell upwards of 10 million units.
No shit.
That I just sent you the link on the private, so if you want to, I don't know if it takes you straight to the, but yeah.
No shit.
And, I've yet to play the game. I'm hoping to possibly get it. I don't know if I'm going to get it anytime soon, but I'll probably find a place that's selling it for a reduced price. But anyway,
I will tell you this: the game is worth it. I played a little bit more of it after I streamed it the first time. I didn't finish it because I was doing a transition over to Twitch.
Right.
But like I said, no shit. You put a game with no crazy microtransactions in the game, and you don't do all kind of other crazy stuff to the games, and now you're wondering, why, it's selling so well.
And the funny thing, I talked about Star Wars, the movies earlier, like that last 3 that Disney seems like they botched those, but they're not botching the Disney Plus series so far. Well, right now, the little hiccup with Kenobi, but the video games outside of Battlefront 2, they actually corrected Battlefront 2. Battlefront 2 is actually pretty good to play. And then Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. So people will be like, yeah, we're gonna get a sequel. Or I don't know. That hasn't been confirmed, but now it's just like the chances of a sequel to that are likely. And and even in the animated series, those aren't botched. So it's just like, damn, you just want to ruin the movies. You can't do a movie, but you can do miniseries and maybe a couple of video games and make up for it. So
right. And what Pooh is talking about is this the ending of my the Raiders game. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick.
I'm trying to figure out how is it karma when it happened before we made fun of the.
Right, exactly.
You hadn't even created your Discord yet. How
What
you
the hell?
gonna
Hold on. What is he talking about? He asked that I wanted to get on Battlefront 2. No, I don't want. I'm talking about we're talking about the Fallen Order, sir. We don't care about the Battlefront 2. I've heard it. I heard it gotten better, but I don't want to get on that.
Like I have it, but I don't have my PSN on right now. So
I'm going to show people what happened. This is what happened to the game, the end of the game. Of my Raiders-Chargers game. I mean, we were down 27-24 with 2 seconds left. So I'm going to show this. Hopefully it won't show real crazy. But this is what happened.
it literally hooked at the last second.
It hooked at the last second and I lost that game. It hooked at the last second and I lost that game. I was like, you got to be kidding me. I was trying to go. It's a great game. It's on YouTube. You can go check the game out. It was a great game. But oh my God, I can't believe I lost. And that's a divisional game I lost. It was the first loss of the season. But it was bad. It was terrible. But I enjoyed it. I didn't feel cheated. I didn't feel.
There's a lot of people in the stands. I wonder if you start losing ball games, that'll go down too. Because Madden Away was the last one that had attendance actually show in the stands before
they pulled it.
Yeah, because dude was complaining down in Jacksonville. Well, our stadiums are not full, but I don't want people seeing that. That's bad for business.
Yeah, but if you're not putting a winning product out there,
that's what I'm saying.
Because even in NCT, that's the thing. Madden stopped doing that in their games. NCAA 14 still did it because, like, say for instance, if you had a team that wasn't that good, you would literally have like empty seats.
Shoot, NHL incorporates that. It actually incorporates that where if you're losing by a bunch, if after a while you start going down losing streak or you have a bad season, your crowd numbers will go down. You won't have sellouts. You'll see empty seats. And it's just crazy. NFL being so tight like they are.
Right.
So protective, so defensive of everything. If they just let players be players, they let football be football, and they just show everything and stop catering to these owners that don't do shit for the league, but take all the money, then we would probably have a quality football game to watch, to play, and Lord knows what else.
Right. Let's see. Anybody got anything else in the chat real quick? We're gonna close out.
Damn, Ravens Nation was like the GM should fire you and the kicker. Jesus Christ.
Come on, man. Don't do that. Yo, man, hey, I was hurt, man. Quayface was there watching the stream. I was like,
yeah, you saw him. Was like, wow.
He was like, wow. You know, I literally fell out the chair. I literally fell out my chair when that happened.
Well, shoot, I had a close game against, who was I playing? Was it San Antonio or was it Oklahoma City? I lost by 2. I lost 115 to 113 to Oklahoma City, and IT had the last shot to possibly win the game, and it rimmed out.
Right.
So I know how it feels.
Yeah, it was crazy, man.
And then we went on the next night to lose to San Antonio. So we are now 0-3, getting ready to play the Rockets.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna fire this game up tonight, man. NCAA force. I might have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, let's see. Anybody else appreciate waivers? They aren't protecting players that are playing. They're protecting boomer sensitive egos. I don't know what that means.
Boomers.
They must be talking about something in the chat. All right, that's gonna be it for episode 115. Super Bowl. We're gonna talk about that on Tuesday. I hope you guys have fun with North Korea basketball. Some of matter of fact, that is in the Discord as well. You can go in the Discord and you can look at those rules that they have. Electronic Arts still making money, man. I mean, there is a train that's not going to stop, and I'm not going to say it's going to get better or worse for next generation, but trust and believe they're going to continue to push.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I don't have anything. I may, which I doubt, I may stream tonight. Definitely, I'm going to stream tomorrow. So you can catch me there. If I do stream, I definitely will put it up. I know Friday's more of an ideal time to stream. But never know. Catch us on iTunes, SoundCloud. All the stuff is in the description. You know where that is. Also, you can catch us on Discord. Google Play as well. I missed that.
Mm-hmm.
Catch us on Google Play as well. So,
but the main thing is that we are first in frame rates. We left the breakdowns to break down the sports issues.
Absolutely. I think I need to make that I think we need to make that a true logo because a motto.
Yeah.
I like that. But other than that, you got anything, DJ?
I have nothing. I'll probably jump on 2K after this. I had to prepare for the Rockets. I don't know. I could change my mind. I'm finding out that I am playing. If I play the Rockets, I would have caught up with my NHL franchise, so I could start alternating between them two, and then rotate with State of Decay 2. I'll be right and rolling.
Okay. King Davis finally saying Wayne Weaver was the Jacksonville owner at the time that cried about fan attendance. Oh,
yeah,
you right. Okay. So he was
the one that got it shut down. Yeah,
I was about to say he was the one that got that implemented in Madden. Clown.
It's like, oh, they want to come to the games.
Well, we know why people didn't want to come to
the video game.
We know why people didn't want to come to those games back then. Well, anyway, catch us on Tuesday. I will be streaming throughout the weekend. I'm actually still off work until Monday, so I still have a lot of ideas churning. I'm going to put some videos up on YouTube, and I will be streaming games on Twitch.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold up.
What you got?
Didn't you have a decision to make today?
No, that's on Tuesday.
I thought you said you had a decision to make today.
I'm still undecided. Tuesday.
Man, stalling.
XFL. I'm gonna pick a team that I'm gonna root for on Tuesday, and
everybody who's in DC, we're waiting for you.
And everybody else who listens to us, please pick a team because we're all going to follow the season together, and we want people to be interactive. So we really hope that that's going to be the case. So we'll see you guys.
Trash talking going on.
Right, exactly. So I hope you guys enjoy your weekend. You'll see me around on Twitch and YouTube. DJ has his videos coming up on his channel. Definitely check those out as well. We are on Twitter. You know how to find us on Twitter as well. The link of all that is in the description. So we'll see y'all Tuesday. And until then, peace.
Peace. Go DC Defenders and Nationals are your World Series champions.